Peace. Welcome to Whispers of Farasha. I'm Farasha, the Moon Messenger. How y'all doing? So today I'm going to be doing a different reading. It's going to be totally different. This is going to be about binding spells, okay? So I did write some notes here because I was getting some uploads, downloads, and things like that. But I will be definitely talking about binding spells, okay? We're going to talk about, okay. So actually, I've been thinking about this for about 2 days. So this is the third day. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And you know what's crazy? Because I was watching one of my favorite readers, right? And she posted a video 6 days ago. And today I just so happened to listen to it early. And she was saying either, for the rules that fit, either the collective she's talking to, which is me and the collective, you're gonna say you thought wrong, or somebody else is gonna say that to you, right? So that's so funny because literally I was thinking about that because my dad used to say that to me all the time. Like if I did something, he'd be like, well, you thought wrong. Or he'll do that to people, well, you thought wrong, right? So it was so funny because I started thinking about things, like thinking about conversations and stuff that I was having with certain people in the past. And it was just more so like, you thought wrong. So I will be sharing little things of my experience dealing with binding spells, people doing them to me, obviously. So on here, I will be talking to people who is operating out of the light, walking with the light is shining through them. They are very divine. You're very divine. And also I will be talking to karmics because karmics do watch tarot, do watch affirmation, inspirational things. They do watch these things, okay? That being said, is because I know why I am here. I am here to help karmics and divine. Karmics, not karmics. Karmics, divine, okay? So, because everybody have a part of the in their journey where there wasn't operating full, true divine self. All right, so there could be a karmic right now that has went through a huge tower moment, something that really shooken up their world, and they're seeing this and they're just like, you know what, this is why this is happening to me. All right, or you could be, the divine collective who is watching this and is like, oh my god, I knew it, or this is why this is happening to me, a confirmation. All right, and this could also be preventing someone from taking that step and doing something like that, doing a binding spell. All right, so also I will be doing like an angel number, which I am going to start with that. But you want to say, what is a binding spell, right? I wrote it down, how I feel, what is a binding spell, okay? And to me, binding spells are like, people are doing spells trying to block you, like bind you to something. So it could be bind you to an addiction, bind you to losses, bind you to love, bind you to a home or something, right? So some people, they do those things out of evil intent. Okay, they have evil intentions. This is why they're doing it. All right, but normally, binding, okay. So I'm gonna say there's always pros and cons for everything that you do. So if, for instance, somebody could be like, oh, voodoo is so bad, voodoo is this, but then it's like, no, voodoo is only bad as if you're using it for bad. Voodoo is only bad if you're using it for bad. Same thing with any type of spells. If you're doing, just like prayer. Prayer could be, it's supposed to be for good, right? But some people, when they pray, they're praying and wishing death and harm onto people and blockages and things like that, okay? So also what people need to realize is like, even if you are a divine chosen one, a divine being, just divine and operating and doing good things, and you're very powerful, there are also people who was in a karmic cycle, in their vibration, lower vibrational, and they're powerful as well. Okay, 505 when I said that. Okay, so just because you're like, oh, I'm a peace, love, and light, doesn't mean somebody who isn't operating in peace. Hold on a second. No. Don't do that. That's wrong. Peace, love, and light is not strong or stronger than you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, go ahead. You can plug it up. Hold on. Okay, but yeah, so with, you know, binding spells and things like that, you know, hold on a second. Sorry about that. But yes, so, okay, so when people do binding spells, especially operating in their lower vibrational self, that is wrong, okay? Because you're stopping somebody from their own free will, okay? So they have people here, oh, you know, they want to do love spells, things like that. Those are binding spells at the same time. Oh, I want to keep, hold on a second. So, you know, some people, okay, so you think like, why would somebody want to bind me? Why would somebody want to do this? Yes, please. Why would somebody want to do that? For their own personal gain. So if anybody wants to sit there and block somebody from their own spiritual path because of the simple fact that they feel like they need this person. Hold on. But yes, yeah, so for their own personal gain, you could be feeling like, oh my God, like your life is like going downhill, but to somebody else, they're looking at you like, I want what they got, what they have. So for instance, let me give you an example. Well, before I give you an example, there's signs to let you know that you are, you know, I'm not going to say victim because I don't like that term. I just feel like there are signs that came across your path of like a hard, tough lesson that you had to learn. And that will be basically, you know, you're feeling drained, so tired, don't feel like doing anything. You had that spark, you know, all the time. You had this spark of doing things. You was a go-getter, but then you just slowly stop doing things, or people around you just start treating you a different way that you know they're not. Okay, so, you know, for me, let me tell you, I've been around so many different types of people. Okay, warlocks. People who was warlocks, but they changed into being good divine beings now. I met good witches, dark witches. I have met people who, you know, and what I mean in all type of categories, all type of race, all type of culture, I've met them. I've been around a lot, okay? And you know what? My journey really had began in 2017. Hold on. Stop it. My journey had really began in 2017, but when it really hit is in 2021. Okay, so 2021 I went through like this program. It's like called Sacred Woman Program. So I went through this program. You know, I met a lot of people, a lot of beautiful souls, and a lot of people who, you know, portray to be good people, and they're not, have evil intentions and stuff, you know. So and so during this thing, it was a good program actually. It really for me, when I went in there, what I got out of it was to remind me who I am. Remember who you are, okay? That's important, because when I met a lot of other young ladies in the group, hold on a second, but when I met a lot of women, even like after, it was like a 6-month program, I think, or 12-week, I can't remember, it was a minute, but during this program and things like that, I met a lot of women, right? And like when the program is done, even like after a year or two later, some of them still didn't really know what was their purpose in going to the program. So, you know, I would hear them say, oh, I just wish I never da da da. Because a lot of people, like I said, there's some people that was divine and some people that wasn't. And that's going to be all over wherever you meet, wherever you go. We can't control that, right? So, 10. So, so then, you know, they'll ask me, like, oh, do you regret da da da? Because a lot of things have happened to me with a few women in the program. You know what I'm saying? They did, you know, do a lot of things that, you know, I wouldn't even think of, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, yeah, so they'll ask like, oh, you know, da da da. So I was like, well, the program really reminded me of who I am, who I was, you know, because it was teaching me things that I already learned. Like, I already grew up in how to bless the home, how to keep your energy high, different types of food and everything like that could keep you, you know, those type of things, right? So as time go by, you know, I became cool with a certain, you know, a few of them and things like that. And a lot of them was wealthy, right? A lot of them had money, everything, but they was so sad. Like, they just didn't, it's like they just felt like their life was like the worst. And they were looking at me, mind you, I'm not rich and I'm not poor, okay? I have a balance, okay? And they're looking at my life and asking me, oh, how do you do this? How did it? And, you know, I was so eager to share because it was things that I noticed that we all had something in common. Like, we all had in common, like, either we knew our mom or didn't know our mom. We grew up our mothers or we didn't grow up our mothers. But it was always, cut it out, baby. But it was always something that we didn't fully get that motherly love, right? Our mother showed love in a different way. Some was worse than others, some wasn't. You know, for me, my mother showed love by teaching me things of being a lady, you know what I'm saying? So I knew how to be a lady. I knew how to, you know, get the wash rag, cook, clean, everything from scratch. Everything I could cook from scratch. I could get anything to clean, go on my knees and scrub the ground. I could just, you know what I'm saying? If you're Caribbean, you know, right? And then and then my dad, he's Rasta, so, you know, it's like a balance, just balance everything out. So some of these ladies, they didn't have know those type of things. Like, okay, I would say something little like, say for instance, the curtain, shower curtain or something. Me, I like to change my shower curtain and the mats and everything every single time. Like every Friday or every other Friday I would change the curtain, but I would always change the mats every Friday. You know what I'm saying? That's like my thing, but it matches. You know, I have like a whole theme going on. I like the place smell a certain way. I like things a certain way. I just do what I do because my mom, she taught me that. She taught me how to think in her way, but I learned to grow up and put in my love, my passion, my vision, and things that I was taught. So a lot of these women, they didn't have that, and I'm thinking I'm doing a good thing by, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. Oh wow, that's cool. Sharing, helping them. Some of them don't know how to cook. You know what I mean? Some of them had people coming in cooking for them, or majority of them, their spouse was the one who was cooking, and it was like the men was the one who was cooking. And I'm just like, oh, no, you know, I taught my children's father, you know, how to cook and things like that when we was together and stuff. That's just the way it is. I'm going to teach because I have children. I have boys. And I want my boys to learn how to cook and do things for themselves because that's what we're here for. But, you know, those things turn into jealousy and hate. And the thing about it is, even though they hated me or disliked me or they was jealous, they didn't say it to my face. You know what I'm saying? They didn't say it to my face. They didn't pick up the phone and say, oh, I can't stand to no, because they were still learning from me. You know what I'm saying? So they're still learning from me. But they were like, I start realizing certain things. Like one person in particular, I started realizing certain things that was going on in her life started happening in my life. And I'm just like, but the thing about it is I always tell people, okay, let me go back. Okay, so I could be speaking to, you know, some people want to call them somehow high priestess. Some people want to call themselves a spiritualist, whatever it is. But I'm talking to somebody that knows themselves, right? And when you know yourself, you allow certain things to happen. So for me, for instance, I know myself. I knew where my path was going. I already knew. Nobody had to tell me. When I go for a reader to get a reading, that's my confirmation because I already know. You know what I'm saying? So my thing was to help people, and that's my purpose. If you don't know how to cook, I know how to cook. So I'm here. I'm here to teach you how to cook. You know what I'm saying? And what was I gonna say? Dang, just like that, it went through the window. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so for instance, okay, so I was helping this lady get out of like addictions of like eating sweets, and just being more, because like when she eats sweets, it's like a trigger for her, you know, something happened, like she's upset, she got annoyed for the day or whatever. What I would do is give her alternative route for that. Okay, you want Snickers, there's a vegan Snickers, or there's go make yourself a vegan hot chocolate or something to get that chocolatey, you know, craving, you know, in you or something, you know. Just don't go. And she was trying not to be a she didn't want to eat meat, dairy, or anything no more. So I was glad to help because, you know, that's me, you know. But then I started realizing the more I was like helping her, the more I started like wanting to crave certain things. And I'm like, I don't even eat that, or I don't want that. Or I start craving sweets. Like I'm just like, I need sweets, or I need something salty. I need things that I don't like. I passed that already. I passed that phase, you know. And I'm just like, why is this coming up now? You know, that's one. But there's more examples, but that's one. I also had like another experience with like, oh, and you know what, that's another thing, binding / energy vampire. So 1717 on timer when I'm gonna say this. So that being said, sometimes people don't realize that they're being an energy vampire, okay? Or they do know, but it's like there's just not that weird, okay? But they know. And those are things I have to look out for too. When I'm sitting here and I'm sharing and I'm giving to people how to protect my energy, all right? How to, bless you, how to protect my energy, how to help people and not make it come down to on me. But you just have to know when someone is doing these things intentionally and some people is doing these things not intentionally, because people could be binding you like doing things like, oh, and they thinking it's the good thing, the right thing to do. They're praying, they're chanting, they're doing whatever, writing things. Oh, this is da, da, da. But they don't know no better, and they're operating on a low vibrational side, and the side effects always backfire, especially when they're doing this intentionally, like knowing like, oh, I want to da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand that there's a cause and effects. They think like, oh, that's just science, that's just physics. No, it is, but it's all part of life, energy, okay? So if you decide to do something to someone, like for instance, like I'm just going to use myself. I'm very aware when I'm talking to someone if they have like a dark side to them, if they're not operating in this godly side. But the thing about me, I give people chances. I give you a chance to not operate in that side because I'm here to show you, hey, you could operate like this. Hey, if you have struggles doing it, I'm here to remind you you can do it, and I'm going to show you that you can do it. Not by me gloating about myself, like, oh, I did this, I did. No. I'm always, because that's another thing. When people try to get advice, they always try to put me, hey, but that's me. We need to see what's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I help a lot of karmics. I help a lot of divine beings, okay? but they don't realize the total opposite will happen. So if you over here, stop. So if you over here upset about someone, oh, look at her shine, look at him shine, this, that, third, I want to be like that. I feel as though I could be like that. Oh, I'm going to take this, da-da-da. Who are you talking to? You're not talking to the divine like that. You're not talking to the divine thinking the divine's going to give you what you want because you over here, I want this, I want to do it, I want to take. No, 2020 is timer. You talking to the devil, okay? You was talking to the devil. But, you know, but people, the thing about it is what people don't realize is like when you operate in divine love, you cannot be changed. No matter what, unless you allow it, okay? Yes, baby. And those are things, I allow things because I want to see how far, why are you doing this? Where is it stemming from? How can I help you? Okay? So this will be part 1 of the binding spells. Hold on a second. So this is gonna be like part 1 of the binding spells. You know, I just have to give you out a little little intro type little things of my little worlds. Okay, so when I was doing this, okay, so with the angel numbers that I'm picking out here is like, this has to do with what's going on because half you guys has been binded, has been chained down, and you're awakening. You're busting out these chains, okay? These negative thoughts of people that was around you, siphoning your energy without you even realizing. But now you're noticing like by you separating yourself from these people or a person or anything or addictions and things like that, you're feeling renewed, okay? But even though you're feeling renewed, it's like wearing off. So say if I'm gonna say if hold on, baby, hold on. Say if okay, stop it. You're wearing off drinking or something. Or if you're wearing off drinking, right? You know, it takes, hold on. Yeah, so I don't even know where I left off at, but oh yeah, so basically this was my train of thoughts. It's just so much just coming in. Okay, but what was I saying? But yes, so when you're getting off like an addiction or something, you know you have withdrawals. That's the same thing when you're coming off like of an energy vampire binding spells. Okay, so I put those like two together, but I will break down, you know, the energy vampire like in the next video to go on love spells as well, things like that, the cause and, you know, the cause and effects. What people don't realize too, before I stop, binding spells is for like when you're in harm, okay, and you have to bind somebody to something. Hold on. Is you bind that person to whatever that they're trying to bind you to, okay? And now you don't have to use as really going to go do nothing. If you walk in light with the divine, you don't have to go out and do all these extra stuff and go sacrificing animals, doing rituals, chanting every day over a candle or every moon cycles. You don't have to do those things, okay? You be protected. You have your sacred relationship with the Most High and yourself. Okay, so whatever is somebody, and what they don't realize is when they bind, if anybody want to bind you to something, their energy is all over it. So when their energy is all over it, they're binding themselves as well. Once you overcome this spell, this illusion, they're going to be trapped in it, in a whole loop, over and over again. And they're going to have to deal with that. Okay, the Most High and ancestors is like, you throwing this out to the divine. Let's see if you can handle it. If you don't throw out what you can't handle, okay, don't do stuff like that. So that's what it is. All right, let me get an angel number here. Okay, so it says 251. Listen, okay, and it's 8. Okay, 8, because this is all about karma, karmic past. Okay, 24:44 on the timer. Be open to hearing good advice. When you hear good advice, you'll hear it more than once and from multiple sources. Right now, be alert. Your angels are giving you a message. Channel it through the people and places around you. Listen carefully today to all patterns and signs as they are messages, and it's up to you to find common links. There is good advice to be uncovered. Okay, so basically, you got, this is not your first time hearing this. This is why this is coming out, because this is not your first time hearing this. And this is why it's probably, you know, it's been on my mind. It's been on my mind for the past 2 days. And then today, I had got like a little nudge listening. I'm just like, what? What is it? Like, that's so funny. Because it's like, there's been situations like, you know, oh, I thought that I was, I knew everything. Cause that's another thing. I tell people too, I was born into this, but I chose peace. All right. And since I chose peace, I was those people who didn't think that a lot of people practice, in the dark. Okay. I just didn't feel like people was awoke to things like that. So I was just like, nobody can do nothing to me because, you know, I don't do those things and people around here don't do those things or whatever the case may be, right? But it's like, I know people could do it, but I just didn't think it would come in my direction. Okay? Get that off your head, please. I didn't think that was going to come in my direction. And that story is another one when I met a warlock, okay? I met a warlock, was very charming, very nice with the words, everything, but was a whole demon. You want to say hello?
Hello.
Okay. You can sit over here because your mouth is dirty from what you ate, so you can wash your mouth. But, yeah, so, cut it out. And he told me, he said, you know, I do this, I do that, I hypnotize people, I do all this stuff. And he kept telling me, even when I was hanging around him, I got this bank account because of you, because you're here. I got this, and that's another thing. I was meeting other people too, like other celebrities and things, and he's like, this is because of you. And I'm like, how is it because of me? I'm not even doing nothing. He was doing something, using my energy, which had opened this box of my energy to be open to a lot of people. And this was like another part of my journey. It's like different levels to this. When I mean different levels to this, different levels to this. And you know, it's crazy. When I went to do my ascension from the Sacred Woman program, we had it at Lake Lanier. Okay. Yeah, I'm saying I could tell you a whole lot of things that I've been through, and I'm 35 years old, okay? And I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot, okay? But I may not, you know, carry myself like that. But yeah, so, and I'm okay. So anyway, let me go back. And when this warlock was telling me all this stuff, I was laughing. I was laughing in this guy's face, like laughing, hilarious, hysterically, like, yo, so funny. Collective, let me tell y'all, I seen some things, everything is just whoa. All right, we have plenty of time. I have stories and things for days, okay? But anyway, that was my wake-up call to let me know I have a big awakening. And at the time, I didn't know. At the time, I knew like I had awakened. I knew I had like a bigger journey or something, but I didn't know it involved me being around witches, vampires, warlocks, every type of person there is. High priestess, karmic high priestess, karmic empress, all of this, all of that. Okay? I didn't think so. But now, as time go on, time move forward, I see. And I had a deeper knowing. And like I said, there was a lot of women that I met in the Sacred One program, even though they had so much money, even though they had that life, husband, wife, or whatever, kids, whatever it is, they still didn't know what their purpose was. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to help them, but they chose the other side. So it's telling you, be open, hearing good advice. You know, this is probably another confirmation that has been uncovered for you all. Okay? You guys probably been feeling some type of way. Stop doing that, please. Oh. Okay. The way it popped out like this, I'm going to do this one last because, you know, it's like this, like a little secret. Okay? Okay, so for the first card, it says, here and now, past and future. Time for a nap. Mending. Chop wood. Okay. So for me, it looks like it's time for a change. If you want to live in the past or you want to move forward. Okay. It's like you sat here. You already know what it is. You leaving people in the past. Okay. There's like 2 people in particular that you leave it in the past. All right. But at the same time, and it's so funny, it's like you had to get through other doors, like other gates, like for people to come in. You passed one, now here's another one. Okay. But in the future, you're going to have a whole lot of people that is loving you. Like your future looks bright and full of love. Okay. You're here to the future. Okay, right now, what's going on is that you're healing yourself for the future. You're in the future. Okay, this is happening now. So whoever I'm talking to, you know, I just feel like a lot of chains has been broken off for a lot of people. Okay, a lot of people gifts has been awakened. A lot of people gifts has been stronger. A lot of people have just awakened to their gifts. Came out from taking a nap. Okay, you was taking a nap, and when you was taking this nap, when you took this nap, okay, these people was doing things, like I said, a lot of people was working with the moon, okay, but they only could see things halfway, all right, but they didn't realize that you have your ancestors and the Most High, not just on your ancestors, the Most High, see you as a star. Okay, you are the star, and they want you to take a nap. You will sleep, but it's time to wake up. Mending. Okay, you was sitting here mending things, thinking about mending relationships, mending friendships, but instead of you, hold on a second, I'm back. Had to help the little one, but anyway, you took a nap, and when you took a nap, you forgave people in peace. Okay, the mending. Okay, you was over here mending a relationship with your inner self and reconnecting with God. That's what you was doing, okay? And taking a nap, because here comes a chopping block. You chopping people off, all right? You asleep, okay? Now you have awoken, and when you have awoken, you chopping people off. That's not aligned with your purpose, because you're here to co-create, okay? The Most High wants you to co-create, and it's like you're going on a journey and you doing things, you putting things up, you putting up a block. Okay, look at that. You coming into a divine partnership. You find out people who love you for who you are. Okay, that's 33 on the timer. Look at this. You have a leg up, and you're at peace with the soulmate. Okay, you guys have like a big soulmate contract coming up. This is why people was coming at you so hard. Okay, maybe you have somebody, or maybe you're already in the soulmate contract, or it's like you know this person or something. It's something that has to do with a divine counterpart. Okay, and also with yourself. And if you already in a relationship with your divine counterpart, you have people around you that are sitting here that was hating on you, that was over here, had to bind themselves. They want to bind yourself to your true divine love. They wanted to bind yourself to your wealth. They wanted to bind yourself to your spiritual gift. They wanted to drain you down. They wanted to keep you down. They wanted to keep you in the dark. So now I'm about to pick up the card that was turned down. Look at that. Regeneration. Look at that. Oh my gosh. You have risen. You have risen. Wow. That is so beautiful. What? I was not expecting that. But did I? But at the same time, yes, baby, bless you. Hold on. Wow. I'm telling you, once you had took that nap, you woken up from out that funny little slumber you was in, and that's what people don't realize. While you was asleep, certain things was going on that you didn't realize. Your ancestors and the Most High was watching over you because you are a star. You are a star. These people try to attempt to tie you down and restrict you. Okay, they was trying to take your energy. All right. But now that you rising, okay, look at that. Look how it's like in the lava and it's still growing. And look at all that just shining down. The Most High is shining on you. Okay. Number 32, number 24, number 52, number 42, number 46 could be significant. All right. 5, 6, 7, 6 could be significant. What happened? 10 could be significant. 1 could be significant. All right. 3 could be significant. 2 could be significant. 2 could be significant. 4 could be significant. 5 could be significant. 2 again. Some of you guys seeing 2, 2, 2s. All right. 4 could be significant. 4 could be significant. 2. There's a lot of 2s and 4s. All right. Look, abundance. All right. You're having a whole lot of abundance that's coming in. Okay. Look, renewal and friends. Okay. You having new friends. Everything. I'm telling you, this future is looking so bright for you right now. It's, yes, you're going to have a new friends, okay? You standing out looking courageous, fierce, okay? You took that. You ate this. You forgave people, okay? You forgave people, but you're not speaking to them no more. You forgave yourself, okay? But you is not staying down, all right? Look at this. The world is yours. Look at that. You are the magic, okay? And you are the art. And you are on fire. Oh, you're on fire. But at the same time, there was 2 to 3 people in your energy that was trying to do, to steal your art, to steal your magic, to steal what's yours. That ain't happening. Let's see. What is it that you have to prepare, okay? Or what is it that you have to prepare for this abundance? Ooh, leadership, forefront, boom. Okay, you're preparing to be a leader. The ancestors Most High is calling you up front. Okay, it says you have the opportunity to take the lead. It may be in work, personal, or family situations. You have the wisdom and knowledge to do what is best at this time. No more playing it safe and blending in with the packs. Shine your light and speak your truth. All right. So you guys is coming out here, okay, walking away from people. Some of you guys is using a platform and speaking your truth right now. And that's what's going to be bringing you your abundance, because it's time for people to hear your story, okay, hear things, see that you overcame these binding spells, these energy vampires, these liars, okay, 3808 on the timer. Okay, this is, the 8-8 to me is all about infinite blessings and infinite karma. So like I said earlier, when I said I'm talking to karmics and I'm talking to divine beings, because there are karmics that is trying to turn the other wheel, okay? And it's not going to be easy, because you got to remember, you put people through some hurtful things. You put people that deserve to go through things because of your own ego, of your own selfish ways, all right? Let's see. The fertile void, the holy grail. Let's see what that's about. Okay, it says the fertile void, inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secrets begins. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. While you were asleep, people didn't realize, yes, they put you to sleep with all these little bonding spells that they was doing for a little bit. It worked a little bit. But guess what? You was getting all your secrets. You was tapping into your higher self, okay? You're tapping into your higher self. You're hearing the whispers of the Most High and your ancestors. You're being reborn. You're being regenerated, okay? The Holy Grail. Stop the endless search and inner quest. Yes, because the simple fact is you went within. So you guys could be seeing dares and eagles, okay? The Most High, your ancestors, is giving you a crown right now. Okay, they're crowning you. I don't know. I just keep feeling like I'm talking to people that is loyal, royalty. Like, you're gonna be living like in a nice palace. Like, you're gonna have a nice garden. Okay, some of you guys probably went somewhere with like a creek, like this nice deep creek or something. Like there's a hole. Okay, it's like you're feeling that. Maybe that's what's happening. You're feeling yourself like they sucked you dry. 404 on the timer. They and that's 8 again. So this is their karmic cycle. This is their karmic happening for them. While they sucked you dry and sucked all your energy out of you at the time, what they thought, they didn't realize you was over here being patient and you're getting renewed. Okay, the secret begin. You are the secret. Okay. You are the secret, and this probably happened to you. This started happening. Can you stop? This started happening in the winter time. Okay, you start realizing, recognizing things, or this is when it started like being revealed to you and start breaking off. Okay, but now you're watering and pouring yourself. You're watering your home. You're watering your whole. Okay, it says at the bottom of this deck, it says Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mystery, learning, and teaching. Okay, you was hidden in plain sight. You working with the divine in plain sight. You are a whole reincarnation of God himself, of the deities, of all these gods. All right, you're a whole reincarnation. And you was hidden in plain sight. And they didn't even know it. And they was over here throwing magic at you. Look at that. Because you are the star. What? 8. Look at that. 8 again. This is the karma. They're going to have to watch you be a star. Okay? You guys, whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to be the best at it. And people is going to see you as the star. There's like, wow. This is beautiful. Like, you're stepping in your power. You got called forefront to be this leader. Okay, they're going to see you in this leadership role no matter what. Okay, look at this. Ace of Gabriel. It says a gift of passion, opportunity, and inspiration. The chance to do something amazing. A sense of wonders. I'm telling you, it's your time. All right? It is your time. But let me know if you guys would like more videos on how to break a binding spell, or go more deep into body spells, deep into love spells and things like that. Okay, I still gonna do the signs and things, but it's just that I'm being called to speak upon these things, since a lot of people is and the whole collective is breaking out, breaking free, breaking these chains. This is what I'm being called to help you all. Okay, so let me see what numbers. Number 11, number 13, number 21, number 33, number 1, number 25, and number 6. I'm saying 6, 8. Okay, 8 could be significant. Okay, number 6 could be significant as well. And then that turns to 9, 6, and 9. I'm telling you, you guys, everything is like mirroring. Everything is like flipping. Everything is like balancing out. All right. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay. I might do size.
Put double hearts and emoji and double likes and double subscribes.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Be careful. Watch out. Go over there. Don't see your take off your shirt. But yes, but yes, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And just like my beautiful young king, what he say, double hearts emojis in the comments. 43 on timer. That's confirmations, because you're getting double blessings. Okay. But yes, just know that you are the art, you are the magic. You're about to, why are you doing that? Stop doing that. You're going to be getting a lot of abundance, you're just going to be happy. Okay. So I might do signs today, depending on how I feel, but it's just like, it's like so much energy with you all that, I just have to be doing a lot of collective reading. All right. So yeah. All right. Peace.
But wait.